Hello and welcome to the Dinosaw number 254, another 7 curious, interesting things I saw last week. So as ever, let's crack on. First one is Project Otis, and this is the first time ever somebody has flown a 360-degree drone, or at least a camera, into a tornado. Now this one's in Wyoming, because of course it is. Now there you go. So you've probably never seen footage like this before. That is remarkable. So there's 4 people behind this project, and this is what they do. So they've flown drones into lots of other tornadoes, but just never a 360 degree, so you don't ever get this looking down view, which is amazing. Robots are now running super quick. Now, if you follow the Dinosaw a lot, then you know I always report on just how fast you need to run to get away from these things. And now you need to run more than a record's pace for a half marathon. So the normal record, I think, for a half marathon is 57 minutes 20. This can do it in 50 minutes 26. So that's 7 minutes quicker than a human world record. And this one is actually a unitary H1, or modified by the looks of it, and it can run 100 meters in 10 seconds. Usain Bolt can do that in 9.58, so it's pretty much half a second out from the world record. Not sure it was from a standing stop, but there you go. If you're interested, this robot here, I think came in third, second and first place, is by Honor. It's called the Honor Lightning. So Honor as in the people who make the phones. So they also make super quick robots. This is Netflix Void model. This is available for download for free from Hugging Face. It's got a public license on it, so you can download it and play with it. Void stands for Video Object and Interaction Deletion. That's pretty much what it does. So what it's doing here is deleting something from a video. Now, you've seen that before, probably in AI, but what you haven't seen is it fixing the physics now that it has removed the thing. So obviously, if you remove the squishy thing, then the duck doesn't get squished. Likewise, if you don't spray the wall, then, if you remove the brush, then it doesn't get, brushed. So there you go. So that's interesting. As I say, if you do want to do this, this is available for free, essentially, to download from Hugging Face. If you don't know what Hugging Face is, it probably isn't for you anyway. There you go. Google have done a good thing, and they've essentially put their weight behind this. So there's no reason where they necessarily have to do this policing, but they are now policing the back button. So hijacking the back button is an annoying thing. You've probably been to a website where somebody has put some code into the back button, put something into your history that when you press the back button, it doesn't let you leave. They essentially put their own site in the back button history. So you're in this endless loop. You cannot go. So Google have said no more. So as of the 15th of June this year, if you are caught doing this, then you'll get demoted in the search rankings from Google. So as I say, no reason for Google to police this, but thank goodness they did. That's excellent. Like that. This is a new patent for Porsche, or from Porsche, and this is for e-ink stripes, or at least e-ink changing of performance parts. So the idea here is all the performance parts, so the wing, maybe there's a stripe, maybe some vents, that sort of thing. When you go into performance or sport plus mode, then those will change color to show that you have changed mode. So whether it's a vanity thing or it's actually any use. They do also say that, for instance, you can show the state of charge of the car using these inks. And now this is not new. So BMW have had this concept for a while where they've shown an entire car that can change color using e-inks. But this is kind of neat. It's put into this ECU so that when you do switch into different mode, the parts of the performance light up. So there you go. Interesting. Only a patent for now, so not necessarily coming anytime soon. But yeah, interesting. If you see cars changing color, it might be because they're in sport mode. Anthropic have got a new model. You might have heard of this. It's all over the interwebs. This is called Mythos, but they're not releasing it just yet. Now, I thought this was sort of PR and whatnot, because they always go, it's too dangerous, we can't release it, and then they release it. We've heard this from AI companies before, but genuinely this one does have a feature that is a bit spicy. So what it does is it finds vulnerabilities in things, which is great if you are, for instance, a penetration tester, or you're in cybersecurity. If you're just a normal person, or if you're a bad person, then you can use this to essentially find vulnerabilities in operating systems, websites, and that sort of thing. So for instance, so OpenBSD, which is an operating system known for its security, it found a 27-year-old bug that had been undiscovered for 27 years, obviously. And FFmpeg, which is a library that allows you to do manipulation and saving things like movie files. There was a bug in that apparently that laid undiscovered for 16 years, and it found that as well. So it will do that to nearly anything. Now, obviously, if you're a bad actor, then you can find vulnerabilities in everything from banking to databases to all sorts of things. So they don't really want to release it just yet. So they've created Project Glasswing, they being Anthropic, and they've got some partners, for instance, so all the partners you see down below. Now they've included those partners essentially to give them access to Mythos and therefore to fix their stuff before it is actually released. So we can't get hold of it just yet, but hopefully the big companies have already fixed a lot of the stuff before we get our hands on it. So that's not scary, is it? There you go. And finally, we have a really interesting use of meta glasses, apparently. This is mostly meta glasses, which is running into Scientology places, which I wouldn't recommend, by the way, by any stretch. Not a big fan of this kind of stuff, but it's interesting use of technology, at least. So what they're doing is they're running into Scientology buildings. This one is in Hollywood, and trying to get as far as they possibly can, essentially turning it into a computer game and trying to map the internals of the building. So interesting use of meta glasses to try and map the internals of off-limits buildings by doing this. But as I say, don't do this at home. There you go. If you're interested, it's a thing. It's called Speedrunning Scientology. Who'd have thunk? If that was interesting, give it a like, give it a subscription, maybe if you haven't already, and I'll see you again next week.